Hi, I have a few minutes before I have to go, so I wanted to share something with you. Do everything in love. 1 Corinthians 16:14. We should do everything that we can in love, because if you do something to get praise from somebody else, it doesn't mean the same thing to God. If you're just doing it for praise, then, it may look good on the outside, but it's not good on the inside. And then, it's much more meaningful when you do it without being praised, without getting recognition. But it's hard. I know it's really hard to keep doing something over and over and not get recognized for it. It's really hard. So as Christians, we should really make a point of trying to, encourage other people to keep doing what they're doing. Give them the encouragement that they need and the recognition that they need, because it really is hard to keep doing things without recognition. I guess with me in my videos, it's sometimes hard when I don't get a whole lot of views on my videos, but it's no big deal because, I'm not doing this so that I get tons of views. Sure, that would be fantastic. We would all love a lot of views. But, if I have a congregation of one, that's better than having a congregation of none. And if someday I have a congregation of 10, woohoo, all the better. So it's just one of those things where, you just have to keep doing what you love and not worry about people who are watching or not watching or whatever. You have to just be thankful for what you're doing. So I came across this article, and there's this lady, she, I guess the guy was probably homeless, and he's always asking for money. And she's always been able to avoid him, go on the other side of the street or whatever. But this time she had no choice. She had to go past him. And she said, that she passed by him and he looked at her and smiled and said, "Good morning." And she realized, and he asked her, "Isn't it a beautiful day?" She reached into her pocket and she had just bought a couple of good apples, and she gave him an apple. And he accepted the offer and smiled and said, "God bless you." And so she says, God used the man's warm smile and pleasant words to wake me up and help me realize that I can give to others not because I have to, but because I want to. And so, sometimes just being nice to somebody or just smiling to somebody can really make a difference in their day, especially when you have a cashier, and I know a lot of cashiers are very, solemn. They don't even say hi. They just get your stuff, give you your receipt, thank you. Some cashiers, I just want to shake them and say, "Wake up!" So I try to be very happy cashier, "Hi, how are you?" And smile and blah blah blah. Try to talk to them. Sometimes they don't want to talk, and that's okay. But these cashiers that can't smile, or talk to other employees while they're checking people out. Oh. So, but, you have to look at them in love and just, try to be nice to them anyway. I've got to go. But to wrap up, I was listening to another person's program, and she had mentioned that, in Chuck Swindoll, he's like, you should get to know the people around you because, they might have something to offer that you never know. Like he mentioned the cashier, do you know the cashier's name? Do you know the bagger's name? Do you know the mailman name? Do you know the garbage man mail? Now, the garbage man, he always comes when I'm not here, so I can't really get to know him. The mailman, he's always dropping off my mail and bye-bye, so it's I can't really get to know him. But, if we can, we should try to get to know the people around us. And you never know, they might have something to offer. And like the video that I made before, I made friends with this coworker, and it's very slim to none that they'll decide to let us adopt their baby, but you never know. So it's just great to get to know people and just be nice and look at them in love. So with that being said, have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.